for a 1, so he's still keeping the thing moving. You can keep it going. Yeah, he's pulling that bike through. I think he'll probably go out with a... Oh, he gets up there nicely, both feet on the footrests. So far he hasn't lost any points. Holding it for 10 seconds. Look at that for balance, that's beautiful, isn't it? Pulls the front of the bike round, hops into the skip and out for a clean. He's nearly there, he's pulling himself up. No, didn't quite make it. Almost, it was the back wheel just spinning on that last Fantic. It's the bike he's riding. They're Italian bikes and he's hopping the bike around. He's had to put a foot down there. He's keeping the whole thing moving. Very good. It's the left and exit. He's up, he's touched the red mark, and he's rolling back, pulls the bike round on the red line, and then roll back with his feet still on the footrests. And he's got through for a clear. Yes, he's up onto the second one, he's pulling the bike onto the third one, keeping it moving, down onto the last one, and scaffolding and South Mountain Concrete Works.
Fantastic.
What a ride. He's got the bike onto the top, but no. Yes, he's trying, but unfortunately he's got a 5. Those logs are very slippery. He attacks the van, he's got the front wheel on the roof, but unfortunately Mark unfortunately lost 5 there. He's tackling the concrete rings. Yes, he's got the bike onto the top. Now he has to come down and hopefully not go over the handlebars. This is a very steep drop. Well done, yes, and he's out.
He of the canary yellow, and they're safely ensconced now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. The vehicle actually that Keith is driving this afternoon, a 1926 Rolls-Royce Barker Landaulet, as you will see, is in the most immaculate condition. As he looks around, Keith got first prize, which I think deserves a great round of applause. So first prize at Yeovil Festival of Transport. He tells me he put in about 200 hours of work just in preparation of the car for that one-day event. Taking up floorboards, I gather.
Back at the logs, throwing the bike up, but no, unfortunately, didn't quite make it. Southwest distributor for Fantic motorcycles. Got his Fantic perched on top of the rocks, but most of his slide. Look at that, both wheels in here, and he stops and holds it. There's a nice bit of control to keep both wheels in the air and then stop completely. 10 seconds he has to hold it there for. He's been given the signal. Now he manoeuvres the bike around, drops into the skip, out. Oh dear, dear, dear. Oh. Steve has been the British champion for the last 2 years. I think it may be even 3 years, I could be wrong. Last time he was riding, he was on an Armstrong. He's got the bike onto the top of the rocks, whether he can keep it going or not. He's got it further than anybody else so far. Just turning it, that's excellent. That's a superb little thing. He's got a precautionary foot down. He's trying to keep the bike moving. he's got the bike over the last log. We'll just see what the observer has awarded him. That's 3 lost for Steve. Well, motorcycle being ridden here today. 4-strokes normally aren't used for trials work, but Honda have put an awful lot of money and effort into this one. But if Steve's, oh dear, Steve is having trouble on the pallet. He's put a foot down. So he has actually lost a 5 there. But he's just going to show us how well he can balance it. He talks to the observer while he's doing it. Pops the bike into the bottom of the skip.
I can't see anything in port tackle all up there.
Gets the bike into gear, lined up, and attacks the transit. Oh dear, oh dear. That was the closest anybody's been to it. Bad luck there. To many of you, the name Lamkin probably sounds very familiar. He was 5th in the World Championship last year. That was a good try on the rocks, but unfortunately collected a 5 there for John. John there just lining up for the cartwheel. Remember, his wheels must stay inside the logs, and he must be able to keep the bike moving. He's having to paddle his way through there. Let's see how many John has lost on that. Yes, and John lost 3. Right, the bike now on the skip. Now he has to hold it there for 10 seconds. Into the skip. It looks as if he's having a bit of a problem there, but no, I think he might have. John taking a flyer. No, he hasn't quite made it. No, I think the chances of anybody getting onto the transit this afternoon are pretty slim, unless we wheel on the outside and back wheel on the inside. Right, and John's just ready to take the snap as he lifts the front wheel up. Touched the red mark and lost 1 point. John goes up. Oh, and he's come off the roll. Up onto the second pallet, front wheel onto the third and the back wheel, down onto the 4th. Superb bit of riding there, excellent.
At 5 quid a piece. That's a private joke, incidentally. I'd just like to say a few words to welcome you all, and particularly to the star attraction that we've already seen, Mr. Frank Carter, visitors that you'll have the opportunity of seeing this afternoon. I'm now going to hand you back to Phil Rycroft, who has just done a mounted app, but we've now got the other stunt aircraft with banner going away towards the northeast and Exmoor and banking rather slowly back towards the commentary point. Got a fairly fast, low run in front of the crowd now, going away towards the west. Bit of right hand down. I thought he was going to cut the banner in 2, but he's more clever than I. Well behind now. The Sopwith mean time, which I think is a correct description of that mark, is doing...
Hand back now to Tim Highland.
But I can't see you, so do butt in, and you know me, once I get on the air, my work, I take some stopping. Rock then threatens. We've got still some pleasant display here. The weather does seem to be holding up for us, but...
Steve's now got the Honda balanced on top of the pipes. He's just, and I think that kid did get over for one point. So if Steve does get over this for clean, then they are on level points. Terrific ride, superb, excellent.
On to the skip, is he? Whoopsie daisy, the back wheel seems to be spinning rather too much, but never mind, he's giving it all he's got. Come on, Mark. Phil says give it some welly. Come on, the man from the potteries. Onto the top of the van. Clear on there, well done. That might be needed on the next part of the course. They knocked the bar, but he's off the machine, and Mr. Marshall says a 5 on there.
Commentary van, and also get in position along in readiness for when the commercial vehicles parade. Also, can I just remind you that the landing spot of the parachute jumpers is still taking place. Still not too late to enter. Sorry, Tim.
No apologies necessary. Thank you, Martin. Nice to have a break in the commentary, and I'm slowly but surely stripping off. I did tell you £10 a look, didn't I? On the large tree trunks now, and we're all rooting for this young man. It looked a bit difficult, and it is. He has a 5 on that. Mark won here in 1983. He's the South Bolton and District Table Event winner, FOT 1983, and second national area champion, arena champion. He's on the skip at the moment. He's got to hold that now. In, down, out. Give it some welly on top of the van. He's got to line that up now, and in and out and over, and a clear on out the side door and in again. Up to the roll back on the red mark, and a clean given on there. Pallets again for Mark. Well done. Ladders, and is approaching the roll up, roll back, which always seems to get the riders dismounted, but nevertheless a clean on there, as he has a very short part of the course still to clear. He's coming into the pallets now, lifting the front end of the machine as much as he can, but clean on that as Chris comes into the concrete rings and is very gently manoeuvring that part of the course, but the marshal gives the end of his circuit as he approaches the tree trunk, but a 5 unfortunately on that. As we were, 13, number 13, a 2 on that part, John Lampkin with the Lampkin on the
I would.
Cool it, Tim, cool it. There would have seen Lampkin all over his posterior. as he approaches out and over the blue van there and a clear on there. Last round of the trial this afternoon. He was over the drums now, and we have a 1 dap on the drums towards the roll up, roll back on the ramp there. He could still keep second place if he keeps his points tally down. A clear there, and running towards the last third of the section as he quietly comes in towards the pallets. He's hopefully concentrating on the pallets, but he's got other things coming up tomorrow as he's off to Sweden for the next round of the World Championship. But nevertheless, graced us with his on a 31 total so far into the concrete rings, holding position well there. Well controlled. Now regathering his strength and that of the bike to wind up into the tree trunk to really get some momentum into the last part of the course. In up and throws the bike into the middle of that. He's still aboard as far as I can tell. The photographers and the marshals are scrutinising this very well. And he's clear. Obstacle number 1, the rocks, with the photographer behind. I'm glad I'm here and not there. Steve from Cheltenham takes that very well and has a clean on that. And we think that's good riding, and I'm sure you do too. Steve is world-class rider and taking in this next obstacle, which is the part of the pallet. Nicely controlled. This is awe-inspiring stuff. Doesn't really need any commentary from me at all. And now on a clean, riding the only 4-stroke this afternoon. Up, out and over, and a clean on that. Well done. Cheer him on, chaps, because Steve and John are fighting this out neck and neck, tooth and nail now. We're coming towards the green drums, and Steve is looking good on this. Nice control. Gathering the only works 250 Honda for the roll up, roll back. He did part company, but he's outside the flag, so there's no DAP, no penalties there. He's on board once again and winding up this 250 machine to the last part of the course. Giving the fourth. He is standing on the machine now, gathering strength for the pallets, which he's now about to enter. Clever riding, well done, well done. 1 back given there, thank you, Mr. 5 seconds still to go to clear the course, as he's on top of the concrete ring. That's a 5. He's now in second, which is regrettable, but nevertheless, their entertainment this afternoon. Thank you.